Welcome to the next class of English language. In today's session, we will learn about prepositions. A nice way to think about prepositions is as the words that help glue a sentence together. They do this by expressing position, movement, time, and how an action is completed. So let's discuss about prepositions. What is a preposition? A preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words within a sentence. They act to connect the people, objects, time, and locations of a sentence. Prepositions are usually short words and they are normally placed directly in front of nouns. They are a common part of language and most of us use them naturally without even thinking about it. Indeed, several of the most frequently used words in English such as of, to, for, with, on, and at are prepositions. Children, let's take an example. I am fond of milk. The preposition of here shows a relation between its object, that is milk, and the adjective, that is fond, in the sentence. Let us discuss about the types of prepositions. Most of the prepositions have many uses. There are some prepositions which are common in every type of preposition as they function in a versatile way. We have prepositions of time, prepositions of place and direction, preposition of agents or things, and phrasal prepositions. Prepositions of time show the relationship of time between the nouns to the other parts of a sentence. On, at, in, from, to, since, ago, before, till, until, by are the most common prepositions of time. Prepositions of place show the relationship of place between the nouns to the other parts of a sentence. On, at, in, by, from, to, towards, up, down, across, between, among, through, behind, above, over, under, below are the most common prepositions of place or direction. Prepositions of agents or things indicate a casual relationship between nouns and other parts of the sentence. Of, for, by, with, about are the most used and common prepositions of agents or things. Lastly, let's discuss about phrasal preposition. They are a combination of two or more words which functions as a preposition. Along with, apart from, by means of, according to, contrary to, in spite of, on account of, in reference to are the most common phrasal prepositions. Prepositions used with reference to time are as follows. At, in, on. At is used for a point of time. For example, he is at home. They left for the city at sunset. In is used for a period of time in which something happens. The function took place in the morning. You were called in the morning. On is used with particular dates and days. For example, she died on Sunday. Let us continue with prepositions used with reference to time. In also denotes the end of a period of time. For example, Rahul will return in a week, which means at the end of the week. I will leave in a month, which means at the end of the month. Within denotes any time before the expiry of a period. For example, Rahul will return within a week, which means he could return in 3 days or 6 days. Any time before the end of 7 days. Before is used when we refer to a point of time. For example, Rahul will return before 28th August, which means before a fixed time. After denotes the end of a period of time in the past. For example, she returned after a month, which means when the month was over. In denotes the end of a period of time in the future. For example, she will return in a year. By denotes not later than. For example, we will leave this place by 6 o'clock, which means not after 6 o'clock. Till means up to a certain period. For example, we will be staying in Delhi till next Monday, which means not after next Monday. We also have prepositions like since, for and from, which are used with reference to time. Since is used for a point of time. She has not been in touch since last Monday. For is used for a period of time. The boy has been ill for 2 days. And from is used for a point of time but can be preceded by a verb in any tense. For example, I will be busy from tomorrow onwards. Let us discuss about prepositions which are used with reference to space. At is used with the names of small towns and villages. For example, he lives at Mirapur in Maharashtra. In is used with the names of big cities, states and countries. For example, the Prime Minister lives in New Delhi in India. In denotes rest or position inside something. For example, they are waiting in the room, which means at rest. Into denotes motion towards the inside of something. For example, he came into the room, so it's motion from outside to inside. On is used when we refer to something at rest. We were made to sit on the floor, which means at rest. Upon generally denotes motion. The cat sprang upon the table, so it shows motion. Words like after, behind, between, among, beside, besides are also used as prepositions. After refers to position or place. Behind also refers to position or place. For example, he stood behind the door. Between is used for two persons or things. On the other hand, among is used with more than two persons or things. Beside means by the side of or outside of. He sat beside me to discuss the problem. His speaking ill about me is beside the point. And besides mean in addition to. So besides being rich, she is also famous. Let us now discuss about prepositions like above, below, across. Above means in a higher position. Below means a lower level than the other. For example, I live in the flat below his. Across means from one side to the opposite. For example, I live across the street. That means on the opposite side of. The boy ran across the road, which means from one side to the other. We also have words like towards, through, around, which are used as preposition. Towards denotes in the direction of. Through indicates a piercing action and also the happening of something. For example, the sword ran through him. That is a piercing action. The deal fell through. That means the deal failed. The deal came through. That means succeeded in making the deal. And around refers to a surrounding position. He looked around himself and then battled. The path around the statue was concrete. Prepositions like over indicates a position above something or somebody. For example, I leaned over my son to explain the sentence. Under indicates a position below somebody or something. For example, I put my suitcase under the table. Against indicates opposition of some kind. For example, he leaned against the wall. Along. What does it mean? Through any part of the length of or from one end to the other end. For example, I took a walk along the broken path. What are prepositions of agents or things? We also refer to them as prepositions of manner or agency. For example, words like by, with, about, for. About as a preposition. Yes, the most common meaning of about as a preposition is on the subject of or connected with. For example, do you know anything about cricket? I'm very worried about my brother. This article is about smartphones. By is used after verbs in the passive voice to denote the agent or the doer. For example, the boy was saved by the stranger. With denotes the instrument with which the action was carried out. For example, he cut the log with an axe. What are phrasal prepositions? A preposition composed of several words rather than just one. For example, in front of, by means of, in favor of, according to, along with, etc. Let's read some sentences which include phrasal prepositions. I'm going out of city. This is contrary to what we might have imagined. Here is a solved exercise for better understanding. The prepositions have been highlighted in the given sentences. 15 sentences have been given in the solved exercise. So go through it carefully and understand as to how a particular preposition has been used in that sentence. In the first worksheet, you need to fill in the blanks with appropriate prepositions. You can choose your answers from the options given. You need to remember, children, that preposition is a word used to link pronouns, nouns or phrases to other words within a sentence. The first worksheet has 10 sentences. You need to remember that a preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns or phrases to other words within a sentence. The second worksheet also has 10 sentences. You need to fill in the blanks with appropriate prepositions. And do not forget, children, the most common being the words showing time, space, position and direction relationship. Kindly complete both the worksheets in your fair notebooks. There are two very important rules to remember when using prepositions. The first rule is that to make sentences clear, specific prepositions are needed. The second rule for using prepositions is that prepositions are generally followed by nouns or pronouns. So, be very careful as to what preposition you are using for a particular sentence. Thank you, children. Take care. Goodbye.